All right, so there we were, cruising through the new open-air zoo, when I realized that the park was closing in like 15 minutes. Luckily, we were in my Nissan Rogue. With its powerful VC turbo engine, well, we had time to see all the animals. Whoa! And outrun a few!
Drive the Nissan Rogue.
Lucky Land Casino, asking people, what's the weirdest place you've gotten lucky?
Lucky? In line at the deli, I guess?
Aha, in my dentist's office. More than once, actually.
Do I have to say?
Yes, you do.
In the car before my kids' PTA meeting.
Really?
Yes.
Excuse me, what's the weirdest place you've gotten lucky?
I never win and tell.
Well, there you have it. You can get lucky anywhere, playing at LuckyLandSlots.com. Play for free right now. Are you feeling lucky? No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus. Terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
Hey, Matt. Pleasure meeting you, my brother.
Hey, it's great to be here with you.
Yeah, congrats on the new baby, the new book. Right now, my psychic powers are showing me Dirty Diapers and New York Times bestseller. I'm thinking that's the combination for you here in the future.
Well, listen, you're almost to God's ears. Let's hope that that's true because we find out this week. I'm really excited. It's the release of the new book, and so far, everyone's been loving it. So fingers crossed, I'm all hoping for good things.
Matt Fraser's brand new book is called We Never Die, Secrets of the Afterlife. You do say in the book that everyone does have a little bit of psychic power. Is that true?
Yes, we all have a connection. We all have a way to sense and feel our loved ones and to connect with the other side, which is truly amazing.
And Alexa, your wife, wrote the foreword, and I know she talks about the first time you guys met, and it sounds like your gift turned into a little bit of game, Matt. You charmed her, and you made a connection with her Grammy. Tell us that story about the first time you met your lovely wife, Alexa.
Well, you know, what's funny is that it still shocks me today that most people don't know what a psychic or a medium is, or they have the wrong impression of what that is. So when I first met Alexa, she was Miss Rhode Island, and I invited her out to coffee. She was actually on my Instagram feed. I'm like, I got to know this girl. This girl is absolutely beautiful. And I saw all her posts and the things that she was doing in the community. I said, I want to meet her. So I asked her out to coffee, and she came to join me. And, I would think that she would know who I was. I mean, I'm verified on Instagram. How the hell would you not know who I am, And not to mention, it says in big letters, psychic medium, on my Instagram page. So long story short, I met her at the coffee shop, at a small coffee shop here in Rhode Island. And the moment that I took her out, she came to the table and she says, oh, what is it that you do? And I'm like, I'm a psychic medium. And of course she says, well, what is that? And I explained to her what a psychic medium was. And I sensed and felt it departed, and I made connections with people on the other side. And she said, well, do you see anyone with me right here, right now? And right away, I saw her grandmother with her that had passed away. And her grandmother was the most significant person in her life, was the only person in her life that she had ever lost. And right away, her grandmother came through and was telling me about, these rosary beads and this small pouch that her and her family had been passed around. And I just let it roll. I started to tell her everything her grandmother started telling me. And right away, she started fanning herself, and she looked at me with this glazed look, and she's like, I gotta go. And literally, she left the restaurant, and I was like, okay. And she went out for a few minutes, and she came back in, and she's like, I thought I was going to pass out. And I didn't know if she was ever coming back in, to be honest.
It's a great story that starts the book. If you want to hear the entire story, you can pick up the book. It's available. I got the Audible version on Amazon.com. It's called We Never Die, The Secrets of the Afterlife. I try to communicate with my grandparents sometimes. I try to communicate with my aunt and uncle, some even friends of mine that have passed away, but I typically don't do it vocally or verbally. I kind of do it in my own mind. Am I doing it right? Should I be speaking aloud, or can the souls hear you if you're just doing it from within?
You can absolutely do it any way you want. You can speak it, think it, write it, however you communicate that you feel comfortable with. Your loved ones will hear you. And here's the reason why. Your loved ones are energy. What does that mean? It means that deep within us, there's two versions of us. There's two versions of us. There's a physical version, which is what we walk around every day with in our body. But then deep within us, there's a soul, and your soul is the energy version of you. And your soul remains unbreakable. What does that mean? It means that it's untouched by illness, by disability, by anything that you go through here in this world. So as age starts to set in, as we lose our hair, as we lose our teeth, maybe you lose an arm or a leg, your soul remains untouched. And one day, when we wear out our bodies here in this world, our soul transitions onto the other side. And because our soul is energy, Our loved ones in spirit are able to watch over us through our life. They're able to be at any place, any time. And that's the reason why our loved ones are able to visit us in our dreams. Because when we go to sleep, our body shuts down, and our mind, our thoughts are actually energy. So while we're sleeping and we're dreaming and all those energy thoughts are racing through our mind, our loved ones can pop in and visit us. Now, what does that have to do with us speaking to our loved ones? Well, it has everything to do with it because our loved ones are energy and our thoughts are energy, we're able to get messages to our loved ones. So I want to explain to you how that works. Think about this. Have you ever experienced, I want to ask you this question, have you ever experienced where you felt negative energy? For example, you get in a fight with somebody, or somebody doesn't like you, or someone is upset with you. And even if they live in a different city, state, or country, you can feel that energy of someone talking bad about you, thinking negatively about you. You can feel it. It makes you feel sick.
Oh, yeah.
It makes you feel...
For sure.
Absolutely. Well, that's an energy transfer. When that person is thinking about you and thinking negatively about you, it can make you feel that, even if you're miles away or across the globe. Well, what I want you to know is that energy can be sent at any different time. For example, when you think of a loved one or you're sending positive thoughts to a loved one here in this world, you can feel positive energy too. It's the reason why sometimes you feel the phone is going to ring, and next thing you know, it does. Sometimes you feel that you need to call somebody, and you do. And the moment that you call them, they were saying, oh, my God, I've been meaning to reach out to you. It's because we're constantly surrounded by energy. We're constantly surrounded by people's thoughts. People are thinking about us. We're thinking about other people. People are thinking good thoughts about us. We're thinking good thoughts about other people. Well, the same thing is that the same way energy can travel from person to person, and we can feel it, we can also send messages to our loved ones. Just by thinking a message, just by saying, Mom, I really wish you were here right now. Dad, I really wish you were seeing your grandson right now. Instantly, by you thinking that, you sent a message to your loved one in spirit. When you think a message to someone that has passed away, it's literally like sending an instant text message to heaven right at that exact moment. And I promise you that the moment that you do that, your loved ones can hear it. It's an energy transfer.
With Lucky Land Slots, you can get lucky just about anywhere.
Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to... Has anyone seen the bride and groom?
Sorry, we're here. We were getting lucky in the limo and we lost track of time.
No, Lucky Land Casino, with cash prizes that add up quicker than a guest registry.
In that case, I pronounce you lucky.
Play for free at LuckyLandSlots.com. Daily bonuses are waiting.
No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+. Terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
And it's really cool.
We're talking with the famous psychic medium, Matt Fraser. He has a brand new book out called We Never Die, Secrets of the Afterlife. You should follow him on Instagram. He's at Meet Matt Fraser. A lot of cool pictures and videos, and he maybe will even connect with you and talk to somebody on the other side. Make sure you give him a follow. I know there are going to be some doubters out there, Matt, like there are with anything. But what is your most substantial evidence that, in fact, people do make this transition and they do go into this eternal life after dying, and that you can connect with them? What is your most substantial evidence you have that you can give the audience?
Well, first of all, I love the doubters. I love the skeptical ones. And the thing that I have to tell people is that if you're skeptical, if you're a doubter, go to my YouTube page. Watch my television show. Look at some of the readings. And more importantly, experience it yourself. Come to a reading. Come to a live event. Because I think that everyone is skeptical at first when they don't know what to expect. Of course, when somebody says, oh, I can speak to the dead, everyone's like, yeah, okay, like that can really happen, right? But it's not until we actually can go and experience it ourselves that we realize, oh my God, this is real and it really does work. It's, for example, I remember being back in the 90s, right, when everybody thought that it was impossible to have a video call. For example, to have a tablet, to have a touch phone where we could literally make a FaceTime call and see somebody in real time. Nobody thought that was ever possible. We thought that this was something that would be years and years and years away. And, now all of a sudden we do it every day and it's become part of our life. What I want you to know is that the communication is there, and that the more that you open yourself up to heaven and the afterlife, the more that you learn about what happens when we pass on and what the spirit world is like, it's life-changing because we realize that we can communicate with our loved ones at any time, any place we want. It's not about just communicating with them. It's our loved ones can communicate back with us. They communicate with us every day using signs. And that's what I want to tell people. Signs are a language that our loved ones use to get in touch with us here in this world. For example, if you keep seeing repeating numbers on the clock like 1111, the time in which your loved one had died, a special date that meant something to you and a loved one that had passed away. If you hear songs that remind you of a loved one, if you have dreams of a loved one that had passed away, if you all of a sudden smell your loved one with you, as weird as that sounds, for example, smell their cologne or their certain type of perfume that they used to wear here in this world, these are all signs that our loved ones are with us. And what's amazing is that when you recognize these signs within your life, you'll recognize all the ways and all the times that your loved ones are with you and the ways that they're watching over you here on this journey through life.
Yeah, I have an interesting story, Matt. I just recently bought a new place about 2 years ago, and my next-door neighbor, out of all the places that he could be from, he is from the same hometown as my deceased grandfather, which only had about 5,000 people. That's a very small town, and it just so happens I moved in right next to someone, and there's, damn near 1 million people in the town that I live in. So it just seemed odd to me. But now that you're saying this, you say look for signs. I mean, to me, I guess that's a sign from my grandfather, because who would have thought of all the places I could have picked in real estate, I would pick the place where my neighbor grew up in the same place as my grandfather and even says that he remembers him.
Absolutely. Listen, that's a sign to you that you're at the right place at the right time. And listen, to me, there's no such thing as coincidences. Coincidences just don't happen. But I do believe in, divine manifestation. I do believe that these are divine signs. And more importantly, as we look at our life a little bit more closely, we'll see that everything really does happen for a reason. And what I can tell you is this. What I can tell you is that I've learned from speaking to the spirit world that when we transition on, when we pass on and we die, right, we go through a transition process. And during that transition process, we go through a life review. During that life review, we meet our spirit guide, we meet our guardian angel, we meet our loved ones that have passed on. But I'm telling you this for a reason, because it's during that life review that we're able to see why we were put here on this earth. We're able to see why we went through certain challenges and struggles, and we're able to see during that moment what all of those signs meant, what those coincidences meant, and how our loved ones in spirit have been helping us, how our guardian angel and our spirit guide has helped us. For all the people who say, well, where the hell's my spirit guide? Where the hell's my guardian angel? Are they really with me? I don't sense and feel them. Well, at the end of our life, it's revealed to us all of the things that we've gone through, where they were during those moments, how they've helped us, and why we had the experiences that we've had with them.
Okay, round two. Name something that's not boring.
A laundry? Ooh, a book club. Computer solitaire, huh?
Ah, sorry, we were looking for Chumba Casino. That's right, ChumbaCasino.com has over 100 casino-style games. Join today and play for free for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. ChumbaCasino.com. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+ terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
Life, which is really cool.
Make sure you go get the book, We Never Die, Secrets of the Afterlife. Our guest here, Matt Fraser. We talk a lot of sports here around the studio, Matt. Of course, our company is owned by Shaq, the basketball player. I'm curious if your psychic abilities are similar to an athlete, to where, you know what, you have amazing talent, but even Babe Ruth struck out at the plate. Even LeBron James doesn't win every night. Do you have hot streaks and cold streaks in the world of mediums?
Well, I can tell you this. I can tell you that because Spirit speaks through me and they use my body, right? Just like an athlete, you have to be on top of your game. You have to eat healthy, keep your body healthy. You have to, exercise and whatnot to be able to get ready for the big game. It's the same thing with me. My readings vary based on myself, right? If my body isn't doing well, if I'm not eating, drinking, and feeling healthy or feeling good, then I'm not going to be able to give a good reading. So that being said, I have to really make sure all the time that, I'm exercising, walking, practicing good eating habits and whatnot, and good sleeping habits. So this way, every single person gets the best version of me. Same thing like an athlete.
We recently did a podcast, Matt, on the murders of Tupac and Biggie, and both of these cases haven't been solved as of today. But have you ever tried reaching out to, say, like a JFK or a Tupac or a Nicole Brown Simpson, maybe to get the truth on an unsolved mystery? Is this type of medium activity, is it used to solve unsolved mysteries?
Well, first of all, I don't reach out to them. I always hope that they'll reach out to me. But the thing is that what I've learned, and this is really the tough part, okay, is that I used to get really upset back in the day when I would work on some of these things, because I did, back in my early days, I did meet with some private investigators and things like that about, mysterious deaths and unsolved cases and things like that. But the hard part is, and the real tough part is that the souls can tell us certain information. Sometimes, in some cases, they can even tell us who killed them or what happened to them. But the thing is that if we don't have enough evidence, if we can't prove it here in this world, then it's useless. It's for example, like to myself, like in my mind, we already know, what happened to Nicole Simpson. But the thing is that unfortunately, there's not enough evidence here in this world, and that's what's really tough.
Is there ever a time where you kind of just get annoyed with everyone and you don't want to make these connections? I read in your book that even as a child, speaking to the dead didn't exactly translate to a bunch of friends. This isn't always a gift that you've wanted, right?
No, I mean, in the beginning, I saw it as a burden. It wasn't until I truly learned about my ability that I realized that, it was an amazing gift. And I got to tell you, in the beginning, it was a huge burden to me. But today, I would not be able, I can't even think in my wildest dreams where I would be without it. I love doing this work. I love seeing the healing that it brings people, and that's what keeps me going. Because I feel like the more people that have an experience, the more people that I can help reconnect with their loved ones, the more that I can show them that there is a life after this. And more importantly, we truly never die.
Is it possible that we could maybe try to connect with one of my loved ones over the phone? I read in the book that you said sometimes over the phone can be the best way. I don't know if you're burnt out on it or not, or if you're feeling like you can make a connection.
So, yeah, I'm going to be honest with you. There's a soul that's coming through that I felt connected to you, that I felt passive suicide. Who passive suicide?
I can't really think of anyone that died of suicide. I'm trying to think.
I'm going to tell you right away, there's a young male that's here that's coming through that told me that he passive suicide that's here and connected to you.
Okay, I mean, he had a pill overdose. I don't know that he did it purpose. I don't know if he did it purposely, but yes.
That's the one I'm connecting with. He's here.
Okay, fantastic.
Because when I'm connecting, I kept hearing him saying, "I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry." And right away when I'm connecting with him, he's showing me that here in this life, he had a lot of issues with his family here in this world. He keeps talking about family issues to me. Did you know that about him?
He may have, but he didn't express those to me. But obviously, when you deal with addiction, I'm sure you have problems with your family.
No, it was before that. He's telling me that he was off on his own from a young age. He's telling me this. He tells me that he always felt like he had to experience life himself and to support himself. He keeps telling me that he didn't feel like he had a support system here in the physical world. And he tells me when I'm connecting with him that he had passed away for a couple different reasons. One, it wasn't just because of that addiction issue, but he tells me that he dealt with depression here in this world. He's bringing this through. And the first thing that I have to tell you is that this was something when I'm connecting with him that he was not proud of. He's telling me that he's coming through because he did overdose here in the physical world, but he does tell me when I'm speaking to him that this was something that he didn't really know what he was actually doing. He keeps telling me that he did this because he was dealing with anxiety and pain here in this world. And he keeps telling me, Matt, he says, all I wanted was to get relief. He says, and instead of being able to focus on my life, he talks about finding relief through these pills and addictions. And because of that, he's sorry.
Very well. I'll make sure to pass along this information to his family, especially his sister. I know will be happy to hear that he's okay. I appreciate.
And wait a minute.
Okay, he's still talking.
Also, no. There's also a soul that's here. Your grandfather that passed. He was in the military.
No, he wasn't. My uncle was in the military. Maybe it's my uncle.
There's also a military man that's here. I keep seeing a military uniform that's coming up in spirit when I'm connecting.
Okay.
He's also stepping forward on the other side as well that's watching over you. He's telling me when I'm speaking to him that he had multiple problems within his body here in the physical world. But when I'm speaking to him, he's talking about having heart complications.
Fair enough. Yeah, he actually had problems with blood flow, and he ended up getting an infection. My Uncle Mick, he was a former member of the Army.
Okay, he's here as well because when I'm connecting, he shows me that he's a very prominent spirit that watches over you within his life. He shows me when I'm connecting that he felt that he was like unstoppable here in this world. So even though he had this issue with his heart and blood flow and things like that, he's showing me that he was the type of person that he would get sick and bounce back and get sick and bounce back. And he shows me that on the other side, he's watching over his family in so many ways. He tells me that nobody really gets to say goodbye to him because his passing was quick and unexpected. And he tells me that he was not expecting to pass when he did. But he, first of all, wants to let your family know that he is okay on the other side. He wants to let you know that he did make it to the spirit world. And then more importantly, he's also, I keep hearing the name Joe. Is it Joseph that also passed, you know?
Yeah, my man, Joe Scott. He former radio partner.
So notice that, that soul is also there as well, because he's saying to me, his friends here, he kept saying to me, Joe's here as well. So know that all of these souls are there and with you.
If you're looking for the most epic place on Earth, let's start at the base of a massive waterfall. Then trek through the thick jungle. Then climb to the peak of a snowy mountaintop. Then once you get there, keep going. Because with intelligent 4x4 and 7 drive modes in a Nissan Pathfinder, the search is the real adventure.
Available feature. Intelligent 4x4 cannot prevent collisions or provide enhanced traction in all conditions. Always monitor traffic and weather conditions.
Hello, it is Ryan, and I was on a flight the other day playing one of my favorite social spin slot games on ChumbaCasino.com. I looked over at the person sitting next to me, and you know what they were doing? They were also playing Chumba Casino. Coincidence? I think not. Everybody's loving having fun with it. Chumba Casino is home to hundreds of casino-style games that you can play for free anytime, anywhere, even at 30,000 feet. So sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com to claim your free welcome bonus. That's ChumbaCasino.com and live the Chumba life.
No purchase necessary. VGW. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.
Well, these are just some of the souls that watch over you every day.
Amazing stuff, Matt. I know in the book also, I don't know if you touch on this or not, but purgatory. You talk a lot about heaven being a place. Is hell or purgatory, is that a place?
So I can tell you that there is no such place as hell per se, but there are souls that don't transition over. There are some souls that don't make it to the other side. So what happens to those souls? Well, I can tell you that those souls are what we know as an earthbound spirit. And those are souls that don't transition over to the side, that remain here on earth. And that's why, if you've ever heard of haunted places, haunted houses, abandoned houses that are haunted, abandoned hospitals, so on and so forth, that's where evil spirits go, because negative souls and evil spirits don't like to be with other people. For example, you'll never see a negative spirit haunting a positive place. For example, you'll never see an evil spirit on the casino floor, you know, at a casino where people are, you know, partying, dancing, running back and forth, you know, playing at the machines, playing at the tables. There's too much energy that's there. But what you will see is that a place that might be abandoned or you know, supposedly haunted, that's where the souls like to thrive because they're by themselves. So dark souls or evil souls, you know, crawl to the far corners of the earth, the darkest of the darkest places, and they very much hide out from society. And chances are we won't encourage a negative soul or an evil spirit unless you go looking for it or you open yourself up to it. That's why it's so important not to play with Ouija boards, you know, not to play with, you know, not to play with Ouija boards, and to make sure that you know what you're doing, you know, not going into haunted places or not seeking out those negative souls.
Matt, it's been fantastic and very interesting talking with you. Make sure you follow our guest on Instagram. He's at Meet Matt Fraser. And go pick up the new book, We Never Die, Secrets of the Afterlife. We're trying to make it a New York Times bestseller. And again, congrats on the lovely wife and the little baby, and much success for your future. Again, I'm feeling these psychic abilities myself, and it's looking like green grass in the land of milk and honey for you moving forward.
Well, thank you. I appreciate you saying that. Thank you so much.
All right, Matt. Be good, brother. Later on.
Bye-bye.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that's perfect for you. With Venture X, earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy and turn everyday purchases into extraordinary trips. Plus, receive premium travel benefits like access to over 1,300 airport lounges where you just check in and chill out. Open up a world of possibilities with Capital One. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. Lounge access is subject to change. See CapitalOne.com for details.
With Lucky Land Slots, you can get lucky just about anywhere.
Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to... Has anyone seen the bride and groom?
Sorry, we're here. We were getting lucky in the limo and we lost track of time.
No, Lucky Land Casino, with cash prizes that add up quicker than a guest registry.
In that case, I pronounce you lucky.
Play for free at LuckyLandSlots.com. Daily bonuses are waiting.
No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus. Terms and conditions apply. See website for details.